What is ETF overlap? And I'm going to share with you a free tool to help you avoid it or to help you invest in it. Stay tuned. So right here we have a website. It's called etfrc.com. Now, when I talk about ETF overlap, overlap means you have the same components in each fund. So if you were to invest in two ETFs and those ETFs kind of mirror each other, you'd have one component at a certain weighting in one and the same component at a certain weighting in the other ETF. And that is the overlap. So I'll give you a couple of for instances, like say for instance you invested in VOO, and that's the S&P 500. Well, the way investing is going nowadays, it's so easy to just blindly invest. So you might find something that that you like a little bit. And let's say that is VTI, which is the total stock market. And when you click on that, what it'll show you is down here you have the percentage of VOO's 513 holdings also in VTI. 98% of it. So is there a good reason to hold VTI along with VOO? Or should you just hold VTI? Or should you just hold VOO? Now, what's good with this website is you can see how well you're covered and how well you're diversified. Like if you wanted to stay in VOO and you wanted to say have a real estate tilt, okay, that would be the VNQ. You can click the Find Overlap button, and you'll see only 32 components overlap, and it's not very much. See, in the VOO that has some of the real estate investments, but it's very minuscule. So you may want to overweight real estate in this instance. So you have all 500 in the VOO, 500 S&P 500 companies, and then you have a overweight of VNQ. Let's say you wanted to overweight the tech sector. This would really kind of juice your portfolio and make it a lot more volatile. So I'm just thinking off the top of my head of a sector ETF, and F-Tech is one. You'll look at overlap, and you'll look at number of overlapping is 67 components. But what's interesting is if you come down here, what you'll end up, like if you equal weighted in your portfolio VOO and F-Tech, you'd have yourself an exposure of almost 20% in Microsoft. Same thing with Apple. So right there alone, unless you really wanted to juice up your exposure to Microsoft and Apple, that might not be something you want to do. Another good example that people do that is not advisable, let's say SPHD. That's a real popular ETF holding. It's a high dividend, low volatility holding. But let's say, I found another one that's Vanguard's high yield, and that's VYM. Let's invest in both of them. Now go ahead and click overlap, and you'll see percentage of SPHD's holdings also in VYM, 78%. So should you hold either or? Possibly. Now if you just wanted to hold, say, SPHD maybe something like the QQQ. This would be a really good, I think, would be a really good small, simple portfolio. So here you have only two components overlapping. You have the SPHD, which is the high dividend, low volatility. So you have low volatility. You have the QQQ, which has a ton of the NASDAQ tech stocks. And so you'll have a weighting with growth, and then you'll have a weighting with SPHD, that's low volatility. So yeah, this is just a little site that I found that can really help you fine-tune your ETF portfolio. I'm going to leave a link in the description down below. You can check it out. You do have to, you have to kind of register for it to get the full weightings. Like if you didn't have a registration, it would only show you the top 5 weightings. But there's other things you can do in here, and it's just a simple registration, no cost. So if you like, please subscribe, share, comment down below, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.